What is up, everybody? Good to see everybody here in the chat today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic beginning of your week. It's Tuesday here in Seoul. So happy Monday over there in the United States or wherever the hell you are. As always, Andrew Esquire, Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Today, we are going to be really getting into it with how based and how Red Pill and how Chad, how MGTOW we are talking about this insanity. But first, let me say what's up to everyone here in the chat. What's up, Fallout Zone, all my members here. Tianini, yes, it's Tat Andrew today. It's short sleeve. It's getting hot out there. It was raining, so I got the guns out. Sun's out, guns out. Actually, it's raining today in Seoul, so whatever. It's getting hotter. But no, it's a casual stream today. This wasn't a planned stream. This is a stream based on something I read before I went to bed, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So the planned streams will be the stream tomorrow with Ty Beard, which is going to be a fantastic conversation. We're going to get into a lot of Texas laws, just stuff that's going on there. I think the Officer Perry stuff, we'll jump into that. We'll talk about Abbott. I really want to, ask those questions. Then we'll talk about the second Dune movie, what he thinks about that, if that's how that's going to come out. We'll really get into it, Ty. Then I have Joe Ball talking comics and culture war on Thursday and kind of holding down that slot for Joe Neerman because my favorite Jew is still out on Passover, which is why I can steal his time slot. Of course, the Gentiles slide in when the Hebrews slide out. What's up, Garrett Pace, and shout out to the mods, Danielle. I think I saw Chris. Hunch, how's it going, Hunch? Good to see you in the chat. This is not Rumble only. So on Locals, I'm experimenting with the embed feature. I just had a meeting with the Locals people. And a lot of times with the reps, they'll say something works, but it doesn't actually work. So we're testing that today, whether or not it actually works. So anyways, it looks like so far on Locals, the Rumble stream is working. It's embedded, it's playing correctly. Looks like it's all right. With Ty Beard, we're going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So a little bit, my standard time. Today's different because on Monday evenings up till today is the final day where I was teaching a class for Andrew Branca's American Law courses. Today was the last day of that class, so I will be able to stream on Mondays again at 7 p.m. Eastern time, so the normal time. So I'll go back to my normal stream time now that I'm done teaching. However, I will say the next 2 weeks I will be in next week and the following week I will be in Bangkok, a little bit of Phuket too. So may schedule may vary. Your boy may be a little bit out of commission certain days, but that being said, I try to come to you 3 days a week, minimum here on YouTube, and always twice a week on Locals and Rumble. So Rumble stream got us out of soju so we could walk straight. I love the Rumble stream. It's based as hell. When we talk about base chads, definitely over there. What's up, Soul Warrior vibe over there on Rumble? Good to see the Rumble squad. And Rumble's been growing, getting a lot of followers over there. Yeah, so I will. So Jim, I'm gonna save my commentary on the pardon of the sergeant tomorrow, and I'm gonna review some of that video because I need to get into that and review it. So I'm gonna review that before we talk with Ty because I really want to get into that with Ty, and I really want to do a deep dive on that. So I'm gonna crystallize my take and come at it tomorrow. I think I will have a different take than most people though. We'll see. I also don't watch all the other creators. I know some people have been telling me, for example, oh, Robert Barnes has a different take on RCID and Disney than you. I'm like, that's cool. He's entitled to a different take. We can agree to disagree. On the Disney and RCID issue, I would say I'm probably right and everybody else is probably wrong because it's my area of specialty. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But hey, they're entitled to have an opinion, right? Brandon, what's going on? Good to see you in the house over there on Locals. Stream is here. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, is it being broken on Locals? If it's broken on Locals, I'm going to complain to these people because it should be working. Looks like Rumble's cracking though on Rumble itself. All right. And we start out with one super chat here. Kyle Brogue, here's 5 for the Grift from a totally based, red-pilled Chad motherfucker. Come get me, feds. We're going to be talking about this. The feds are certainly going to be coming to get us because, frankly, and I've said this before, they're going to start making what you are illegal. Just being the thing you are is going to be a crime. And we can laugh about this. This is kind of, I think it's going to be something that's memed, but at the same time, you got to realize people are going on hate lists. People are going extremist watch lists. People are going on, all sorts of other places for minimal internet behavior, for the posting of memes, for the use of fairly common language that half the internet uses. This is where we're at right now. And that's also why I say, and I've always said, that when I talk about people in the red pill sphere, right? Like if I talk about the Andrew Tates, I was like, it's only a matter of time before someone like that is put in jail, regardless of how you feel about it, because they'll make behavior that they don't like illegal. They'll say, this specific thing you're saying, this is a dog whistle to this, and therefore what you're doing is illegal. You're continuing to do it. We're going to throw you in jail. It's going to happen. But yeah, Jess, the RCID thing is entertaining. So here's what I'm going to do, because I know I've done videos on RCID. So here's what I'm doing. People are still confused, and the pixie dusters, the Disney pixie dusters, the people who are just absolutely obsessed with Disney. They just snort the Disney cocaine. They just do lines straight off of Mickey's asshole. They have been absolutely spouting so much bullshit that I need to do one long, comprehensive video, one video to rule them all. I've been addressing argument by argument by argument, but now that we've got all the facts, all the data, I'm going to do one long video. I'm going to promote the shit out of it. I'm going to, put it on all my, link through it to all my social media, get other people to reference to it about RCID, because people just fundamentally do not understand about RCID. So it's going to be one video. I'm going to pre-record it, right? It's not going to be a stream because there's not audience interaction. It just needs to explain to people because they're just dumb about it. I've seen so many Disney podcasts. I've even seen CNBC, NBC just spouting outright lies about what's going on, trying to pretend like it's some Disney own of DeSantis or like Disney is winning over Florida. They are absolutely not. It's complicated. I get it. It's complicated. It's a weird area of law. I understand that, but people gotta understand it and gotta be broken down. So I'm going to break it down to people in a very simple way for even like the lacking brain cells, Neanderthalic Disney people, even there, denying Peter Pan syndrome, denying adulthood selves will be able to understand it. Hello, you do shot this morning yet? Not yet. I guess I got a bottle of green apple vodka. I technically have some whiskey I have to finish. So it can be a thing. But before I start drinking, let me tell you something I'm not drinking, and that's Bud Light. And, oh, sorry. C3 Metal sent me a $1 tip on local, said, sorry. When I think of Chad, I think of that one douchebag in a polo shirt with 5 pop collars. Well, I think everybody, when you think of Chad, thinks of the Chad meme, right? So you think of, when you think of Chad, I think you should be thinking of this, which is what I think most people, most normal, well-adjusted people are thinking about this. Thinking about this. Wait, Apple refunded your super chat? What the fuck? That's weird. You sent in money from like Myanmar, Brandon? Anyways, let's talk about Bud Light real quick. Because, and I'm probably going to be the only one to say this, but guess who was to blame? Just guess in the chat. What category of person was to blame for the Bud Light advertising campaign? Who knows in the chat? What category of person? I want to see who knows. Let's see, and let's see if Base Rumble knows. Maybe y'all will get it. Who do you think is to blame for it? What in the spectrum of America? And shout out to Benjamin, hold on, who actually got it first? Benjamin Turkoff and Caldwell the God, who were the first two to say it. A white woman. Of course, it is a white woman. A white liberal woke woman. Meet Alyssa Heinerscheid. Alyssa Heinerscheid. Now, I am going to do a video on my new channel, Go East Gentleman, on this chick and put it out because there's a lot to get into her with her thoughts and her direction. But of course, she was a white woman from a Ivy League school. She is the first woman to lead marketing for a beer brand, a major beer brand, not some podunk bullshit, small little brand. It is a large major beer brand. And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh that it's, of course, a woke white woman who ruins it. It always is, by the way. And Brandon, I got you, brother. Here, let me get you here. Appreciate you. Cheers, Brandon. I mean, listen, I'd rather be drinking my based whiskey from Scottish dudes who have spent generations honing their ability to get people fucked up. Who their only advertising in Scotland is, we make whiskey. It's good. Drink it. Have some balls. Right? So, hey, cheers to having some balls and knowing better than marketing like this. Woo! Spicy. Spicy. Mind you guys, it's 10 in the morning here. Anyways. So her thought process was that, actually, I have a video. Fuck it, I'll play you guys the video. I want you guys to see this shit. Because I honestly didn't believe this until I heard it. And frankly, in what IWD, welcome as a member, welcome to the base legal mindset, the only BLM that will not burn down your city, but may outdrink it. Also, welcome Marcus Squintus as a YouTube member. You got to access the emojis and make sure you get in the Discord. IWD, I know you're there, but Marcus, get in the Discord, get in the private community, say what's up. Appreciate you. So let me play the video. I wasn't gonna do this, but we gotta play the fucking video. All right, here it is. Here's the video of what she says. You guys are not gonna believe this. So this is her perspective. This is her thought on this. So I want to make sure this is all the way up so you can hear her nasally woke white woman voice. Let's go.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do.
She's a businesswoman. Let me be very clear. I love how she points herself as a businesswoman. Let me say one thing real quick. You are not in white women. I'm sorry, this is going to offend you. If you work for a corporation, you are not a businesswoman. You are a slave. The salary they pay you is your slave wage to give up your dreams. You're a business owner if you work for yourself. If you work for a corporation and you are not the CEO, or maybe on the executive team, I'll give you, if you're on the executive team, you have a lot of leverage, maybe. But you're technically the shareholders, bitch. You're technically the shareholders, bitch. You're a high-paid slave, but you're still a slave. You're a business owner if you own the business. This bitch does not own the business. She does not own the business. She is not a business owner and not a businesswoman. But yes, that chin is lethal. That chin is lethal. Adu says, been a member for a year. YouTube cancels every couple months. It's some bullshit, typical bullshit. By the way, guys, make sure you check your subscriptions, check your notifications, check all that stuff, because YouTube routinely unsubscribes people. I would be way over 100K right now if it wasn't for unsubscriptions. 2,000 in this month. that YouTube has done, and you can tell because they do the same number every day. It's like algorithmic. That wouldn't happen. If people were unsubbing because of a video they really didn't like, then it's all at once. But YouTube just chips away. It's really weird. And they do it as you're gaining. It's very, very, very sketchy. YouTube is asshole. Big asshole. Anyways, let's continue.
When I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time.
Okay, so I don't know about Budweiser. I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't know whether the brand is in decline, right? And that, first of all, that's not a statement you make. You don't say that. See, here's the thing. You don't ever say our brand is in decline. You know why? There's a psychological effect. And if she knew jack shit about marketing, the fact that a fucking lawyer knows this and the marketing director, the VP of marketing, who is the head of this campaign, doesn't know this principle is shocking. Here's the principle. When you say everybody's doing it, everybody's loving it, people are joining en masse, people are coming, like millions of people are doing this. When you say that, psychologically, it triggers our little monkey hamster brains to go do it. So millions of people are liking and subscribing. So get there and like and subscribe, right? Do it. But when you say, oh, it's dying, well, who wants to be part of a dying brand? You don't say that. You never acknowledge that. You know what you do? You remember the Iraqi propaganda minister? Remember the Iraqi propaganda? When the American tanks are like rolling through Fallujah, they're like on their way to Baghdad. And he's like, we are going to win. Motherfucker, we're going to beat these goddamn American infidels. You got to go that way. Even if you're going down, you got to fight. Baghdad Bob. You remember Baghdad Bob. There you go. Baghdad Bob. You got to be fucking Baghdad Bob. Solid as Iraq. Even if you're going down. Everybody knows right away. You guys know. You got to be Baghdad Bob. Say whatever you want, but that's my favorite rice-based beer, and I have this woman's picture on a dartboard for ruining it. Hey, I mean, seriously? A lot of people are pissed off about it. It's not just you, Brandon. But oh, that's funny. So I doubt she would know marketing just talking like this. Let's continue.
And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this.
So okay. So let's assume that's true. If we don't attract young drinkers, right? So here's the thing. People who are young and drinking beer, what are they doing? What do young people who drink beer do? Well, they want to drink, I mean, to me, right? They want to drink craft beers. They want to drink interesting beers, right? IPAs, whatever. Okay, that's fine. You have a big brand. You create that. In fact, InBev has those brands. And you say, look, we're going to lose in the Bud Light segment, but as a company, we have this other product, and that product's going to do well with young drinkers. You do not try to make a product that satisfies everybody. You take your target market, your niche, and you just lean into that niche. And what could that niche be? I don't know. People with no fucking money. I don't know. I mean, Bud Light can market itself as, hey, it's not great, but it's well priced. You know, like just be the cheap, shitty American beer. Whatever, but find that target, get into it, market it. Britt says, I don't care if she was the one that made it. The CEO should have screened it, then called her just to say you're fired and hang up and burn the footage of the commercial. But mind you, this footage is after. This is after. She's not fired. They have doubled down on this. This is not something they've backed away from at all. They've doubled down on this. Are you scared? Sorry, Douglas Butts says, Andrew, are you scared coming back to the US now that you're based? Oh, I will tell you one thing, and actually I'll say this pretty clearly. I can never work in corporate at all again. I pretty much blacklisted myself because of, number one, the fact that I'm a public figure like this, right? I can never work inside of them. I can consult with them because they can just put that off the books. No one's ever going to know. And by the way, I do right now consult with corporations, but never going to be an employee. That's not possible. I'm too bait. Like, it's not, they can't touch me as an employee, not employable. That's why people have aliases. And I know a lot of you who work in corporate, who work in academia. I know you out there. You guys have hit me up. That's why y'all have avatars. That's why y'all have nicknames. That's why you don't give your real name. And I don't blame you because you fucking can't. That's why a lot of people who work with there, WW Pro. If you work with Disney, if you're involved with Disney, you're around Disney, you're an investor, you can't even talk. You got to stay quiet. Anheuser-Busch stock and sales tanked around the time their brands defended the most peaceful pillagers in 2020. Yep. And that was a sign they were going to go this direction. Because once you go woke, you don't go back. I would say once you go Black Lives Matter, you don't go back. But there are BLMs that are based like mine, which you can join, and you'll be just fine. We're growing exponentially at BLM. What's your explanation of Kirin? What's your opinion on Kirin Ichiban? It's not the best, but it's a good Japanese style beer that I enjoy occasionally. Also FBL and FJB. Yep. I would say I like Asahi better, but I think that's because there's more draft here in Korea and in Japan as well. But also in Korea, there's more Asahi draft. Kirin Ichiban, actually, we get other Kirin brands here more often than Ichiban. So we get like the Kirin Light or like other Kirin brands. So Kirin is fine, but actually I like Asahi better just on tap draft here. It just tends to be better personally. But I have no problem with Kirin. It's a fine beer. I'm not a huge beer drinker, to be honest. I used to be a huge beer drinker, but that's part of the reason I was fat as fuck, to be completely honest. Like, beer was what made me go like ultimate chunk mode, was drinking a shit ton of beer. IWD says, I think she picked Mulvaney because they both look like horses with an end-stage parasitic infection in their intestines. Oof. Big oof. Look, there's a reason why she's a businesswoman and not on OnlyFans. We'll put it that way. Hunch says for $5, Anheuser-Busch has been bleeding customers and market share since their sale to InBev. Yes. They sold their soul to InBev, the evil Belgians. Got to keep an eye on them. All right, let's continue here.
Super clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone.
Okay, look at her okay, guys, look at these eyes. Let me show you these eyes here. These eyes, I know my cursor is glitching out here, but these eyes, these are what you call crazy eyes in the business, right? These are crazy eyes. If you see a woman with these eyes, you fucking run. You run as fast as you can. These are crazy eyes. This is a classic example. In the dictionary, they put these eyes in the definition of crazy eyes. This is it. So she's making this change. Okay, we got to change it up. Okay, that's the mandate. And that means we got to go full tranny. That's what we got to do. That's where we got to go with this.
It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. Mm-hmm. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution.
Okay, appeals to women and to men. Let's put that out there right now. How does that appeal to women and to men? How is putting a T going to appeal to women and men? First of all, two fundamental errors there. Products typically are meant to appeal to one gender or the other. That's how marketing works. The primary market is one or the other. You pick a lane. There's no T lane. There's no unisex lane. The only things that are sort of unisex might be stuff like health. But here's the thing. If you're marketing a women's fitness product, you market it differently than a men's fitness product. Men want to get jacked and juicy. Women want to work that butt. Right? Different type of marketing. Right? Even though they both want the same thing, fitness, you market it a different way. So her idea to market a product simultaneously to two people loses everybody. See, that attempt to please everybody, which, by the way, I'm going to say this. A lot of YouTubers will try to do this, and I actually think that's the big YouTube error. They try to please everybody, and I think that's bullshit. You got to piss some people off. I'm sorry. Maybe you're going to get attacked by the crazy troons. Maybe you're going to get attacked by the crazy lefties. Maybe you're going to get attacked by the woke white women. That's fine. It's better to have them as enemies and have some real friends than to be really engendered to nobody, to have nobody believe in you, to have everybody think you're full of shit. Because nobody buys this. Nobody is buying that Bud Light is a great beer from this. Men, women, even people in the trans community are like, we don't really, I mean, Dylan Mulvaney, come on. So nobody is buying that. It's a horrible idea.
You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
This isn't another approach. In fact, as you guys pointed out, they've been trying the woke shit for a long time. They've been pushing this for a very long time. You know what we're missing? I want to pull this up. I want to pull this up. You know, the old vintage Bud Light ads, right? The ones with the women, right? Let me pull this up here. I'll be in the corner here. Those are the women. How about this? Life is good. Have a Bud Light. This will sell some fucking beer. Titties. I talked about this with Rini last week. Rini Draws. We're talking about comics. Titties sell. Guess who likes titties? Men. Guess who likes titties? Women. We have not seen good titty marketing in a long time. What we need to do to change it up is free the titties. Really, what we need to do is free the titties. Objectively. Sexy women are going to work across all time and races and cultures. As a person who is abroad, I can say this. Sexy women, in the way that you find that people find them attractive, is always going to sell. Always going to sell. My Jen calls them bobbit eyes, Andrew. Yeah, those are definitely bobbit eyes. There's no doubt about that one. That's like pretty much on point there. Scarily on point. Bridford 20 says, now I know why I was never in marketing. When she says we're going to lose market share, my first thought is reverse that, make a better product. Not how do we market our old crap for a new generation. Exactly. Innovate. If you really want to get a new generation, okay, innovate. And if you want to keep Bud Light around, just play into that marketplace. Okay, let's say it's a boomer beer, right? Market it for boomers. You know what boomers are? Cheap as fuck. So be like, you know what? These retired boomers, they just want a cheap beer. They don't give a shit. It tastes all the same to them. Market it that way. Just market it that way. Be like, this beer is cheap. You save your retirement money for, I don't know, hookers in Colombia. Who knows? Like whatever you want to do. Who gives a damn, right? Just market it to that target market and go there. Look, I'm not an expert in boomer marketing. Just saying. People, come on, Andrew. She's fun in the sack, though. No, guys, no. Just no. It's not happening. IWD says she had the exact same. She has the exact amount of sense that one Code Pink Harpy wore a Chase shirt in Hialeah back in 04 and got wrecked over it. IWD, that makes me laugh. Just understanding that people don't understand, just not just men and women. It's they don't understand these groups and they view them as these monoliths, which they aren't. They don't get it. And it actually, what it really proves is, to me, it proves that women, particularly woke white women, do not understand men at all. They do not know how to market to men. They do not understand men, and they don't care about them. They literally do not care. They're saying, fuck you, men. So you've got to get through that. Shout out to my boy Meme Copium, Josh. What's going on, man? Yeah, great video. Been putting out some great Japan content on your Anaka Adventures. It appeals to women because they like to pretend to be inclusive for social points. Doesn't appeal to men because men don't appeal to men. Yes, that's very true. That is very true. I like this one. Targeted boomers. Nothing beats a cold beer apart from a banger someone half your age. I love it. I love it. That's definitely banned nowadays. They can't do that one. That's way too based. By the way, based is banned as well. Let's talk about that. Let's transition to talking about that, if you will. Because we all like transitioning here. Sorry. There's a good meme on locals, and shout out to my local squad. This is a good one. This mouth can swallow a keg. Great. I love you guys on locals. Appreciate you. Shout out to Vealhammer. Great memes. Fucking crushing it. So we got some Fed boys, right? And we got a problem with the Fed boys. And let's talk about this. So we look, I think we've all known that the FBI are a bunch of soy cuck glowies. And I know they're watching right now. By the way, hello, Feds. Hello, Feds. Hope you're having a good time watching the bull smash your wife. I know Drex will be over next week. Don't worry. But that being said, they're starting to get a little bit, this is starting to get a little bit insane. So this is what I wanted to talk about today. We're going to go through the terms list. I want to actually walk through how they define the terms, because I think that's one thing people aren't talking about. They're not really getting into the definitions. And in the legal world, the definitions are very important. Very important. So the FBI is now flagging the terms red pill, based, and Chad as extremist terms. So this is based on a Freedom of Information Act request submitted by the Heritage Foundation. And the document was entitled Involuntary Celibate Violent Extremism. And there's a glossary of terms used by incel extremists. So, I mean, this is now the type of person that they're going to be tracking. We'll get into the terms list here. But I want to say, this is what they went after. They literally went after the term when they saw a base Chad who took a red pill while LARPing. That term was enough to get them on the case. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Hello, all my fellow based red pill Chads. But what was really shocking to me, and let me pull this up here, is how they define the terms. And this is what I want to go through today with you guys, because this is fucking hilarious. Because not only do they put them down as extremist terms, but they don't even get them correct, right? And I want to go through this. And some of these, I know that the quality of this document is not great. This is obviously, it's a Fed doc, so it's obviously shitty quality. But I'll read the definitions out to you, right? So I want to just go through this line by line, because this is insane. And as a person, look, I'm probably the only person in LawTube who would admit or like self-identify as red pill. And will say, yeah, I'll take on that term. I'm okay with that. I don't think many other people would say they would identify with that. But I'll walk through these terms and say, okay, maybe I'll whether I agree or not agree with them. The spoiler alert, I don't agree with most of these definitions. Okay. So first term is amazing hero, going ER, and supreme gentleman. So which, look, I don't think they understand that this is a derogatory term. So listen to this. So a reference to IVE attackers, Elliot Rodger and Alex Manassian. Going ER often is used as to state intent to emulate Rodger by committing a mass attack. Rodger described himself as a supreme gentleman. Now, look. So I like, God, you're 100% getting flagged. You're 100% getting flagged for that name, Nancy. I appreciate that. So, okay, understand this. Being a gentleman, being a supreme gentleman, and being the nice guy is 100% a bad thing. Do not be the supreme gentleman. I would rather you be the supreme arsehole, because at least you're letting out that anger, right? You're getting out there and just being like, fuck you. And that's getting out there, then keeping it inside, bowing your head and saying, yes, master, please, more beatings. Please slap me on the cheek again. I'll turn the other cheek. You don't do that. This is the tip of the fedora. It's the fedora meme. It's not a good thing to be the supreme gentleman. It's kind of a fucking simp, to be honest. Yeah, I agree with that. It's the fedora wearing simp. Okay, ascension. A term used to describe an incel leaving incel status by gaining sexual or romantic attention. And look, I by the way, I would never identify. First of all, I'm not an incel. I've never been an incel in my life. Do you recognize that, hey, when you're younger, it's harder to meet women? Yes, that's true. When you get older, these problems fix themselves. Guys who are 18, 17, 16 and feel, oh my God, I'm an incel. Even 21, you feel like, oh my God, I haven't gotten laid. Wait till you're 30. Wait till you're 35. Oh, how the tables have turned. But okay, gaining sexual romantic ascension. I think that once again, I don't know whether this one is a real one or not, but regardless of whether it is, once again, this is simpy behavior. Next, cell. A suffix added to words to describe specific types of incels. Examples include bald cell, an incel who is bald; height cell, an incel who is short; rape cell, an incel who condones rape; escort cell, an incel who supports the use of prostitution to gain sexual attention. I wouldn't say it's sexual attention, it's just to have sex, to fuck. Interesting. I mean, you can use that in a lot of ways, like chunk cell, gunt cell. What's another good one? Law cell. Baldo cell. That's a good one. I'll take Baldo cell. Baldo cell. This is vibe. This is real. This is from the FBI. This is the FBI, the Fed boys, defining these words. Mind you, these are people who are probably themselves incels, defining incel. But Doug is fun. So I'm glad Anheuser-Busch decided to have a diversity hire to show it doesn't work for sales. Dude, these people are going to crash and burn. These companies are going to crash and burn, just like the feds are crashing and burning. All right. Let's continue. Chad. Also, Chad Preet, Chang, and Tyrone. First of all, this is completely racist. This is completely racist. Chang is not the Asian equivalent. The Asian equivalent is Wang. We all know Wang is the equivalent to Asian Chad. I mean, it's Wang. Come on. How are you going to beat the Wang? You cannot beat the Wang. It's not possible to beat the Wang. Now, Tyrone, of course. Although I think it's racist that they left out Pookie and Ray Ray. I will say, the fact that Pookie and Ray Ray are left out, you got to have the full train in there. You got to have the full train in there. You cannot beat the Wang. You literally cannot beat the Wang. Dong is also good too. Dong would be a good Asian one. Hunt says, wait, if cell means celibate, then how can using an escort or prostitute make you part of the group? That's oxymoronic. I know. It makes no sense. If you are fucking, you are not an incel. You are by very definition not an incel because you are not celibate. You are fucking. That is not celibacy. That would not be approved by I did a temple stay last weekend where you stay in a temple. It was actually really nice. Very calming. The wooden floor was kind of hard on my back, but the monks would not approve of that form of celibacy, of me fucking hookers. Neither would the priests. Neither would any form of celibacy that has been exercised over the centuries. Also, Chad Preet is totally racist. Totally racist. It's the Jeets, okay? Let's be, or at least the cheats. Come on. Can we shorten it? Okay, but hold on this. Race-specific term used to describe idealized version of a male who is very successful at gaining sexual and romantic attention from women. Incels unsuccessfully compete against Chads for attention. Hunt says a woman is the author of this list. Yes. Or a dude who's on the alphabet squad. Which, by the way, is most feds. Okay, so yeah, you got Chad there. I mean, I think this is a pretty decent definition of Chad, but here's the thing they leave out, which is that, I mean, everybody is competing. Even the Chads are competing against other Chads, right? So it's all a competition. It's all a sexual marketplace. The world is a marketplace. And yes, this is kind of tough for some people to deal with, but guess what? You got to grab your balls and you got to compete. We're not in a socialist economy where everybody else is handed your standard waifu. It's like, here's your government designated waifu. It's like you gotta earn that. Choose your own adventure. That's on you. Personal responsibility. And I think one of the big problems with incels, they don't view that. It's like, that's on you. All right, femoid, foid, or roasty. Term described to dehumanize females. That's it. That's all you got? No German Shepherd? No Becky? No Stacy? Where we at? We got Stacy on this list? Oh, we got Stacy down here. No Becky, though. We got to get the white women in there. Let's see. JBF. Just be first. A phrase used to describe the targeting of minors for sexual advances in order to be their first sexual experience before their perceived corruption by society, and is justified by some as the only chance incels have to ascend. This is ridiculous, by the way. This is ridiculous. This is not a real thing. My cursor's flipping out, but not a real thing. Hold on, let me remove that and then add it again. Okay. Just be first is not a real thing. That's made up. That shit's made up. And certainly not something that happens. Yeah, Spec Ops on Rumbles. Yeah, be a man, earn your life, destroying women like everybody else. I've never heard of these. This is one I have not heard of. Like completely. This is something that just seems to me completely made up. Diamond Fun says FBI has no clue. They're 10 years too late. It seems like they went back on some forum and just like copy pasted old definitions. All right, here we go. It's over. A comment which describes the hopelessness of being an incel. The typical response to this comment is, it never began. What are you talking about? This, first of all, this is where Drex and I, like, we get on people. Anybody who actually believes this, that you have no chance, are you kidding me? You know how many ugly motherfuckers, like fat, ugly motherfuckers, still get laid? Particularly since you mentioned it on this list, even if you're screwed in escort, you're not an incel anymore. If you have $20 and you can head south of the border, you ain't gonna be an incel. Even in Reno, even in Nevada, you go over to Nevada where it's perfectly legal, you won't be an incel anymore. It may not be what you want, but you ain't gonna be an incel. LDR says lie down and rot. The only perceived option for incels to cope with their incel status. Absolutely not true. I hate it. It's disgusting. And guess what? Look, you always can choose to walk away. But even if you decide to walk away and become MGTOW, which is men going their own way, you should still be working out and making money and pushing yourself towards your mission. Even if you say fuck women, right? Even if you say fuck women, okay, fuck women, right? Let's say you don't want to deal with women as a man. So you're like, I give up. You can still make money and live a fucking awesome life by yourself, no women involved. But you want to put in zero effort? Come on. That's pathetic. And just because your mommy gave you a participation trophy doesn't mean it's okay. And I think a lot of this in the very few people, because by the way, I think this is a very small segment, but the people that do think this, I think they're being fucking coddled. It's fucking cringe. If anybody actually believed this. Now, mind you, this could just be the Fed boys definition. I've not seen that. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes exactly right. I'm actually going to get this one. Normally, I don't get non-super chats. But yes, I gave up and instantly found my wife when I totally gave up because you weren't trying. And a lot of the problem is people are trying hard. Diversity hire for the FBI winning. Oh, no. What they hire? Watch, they hire the Bud Light marketing director. The FBI hires her to do a recruiting campaign. Anyways, looks matching. The process of matching the attractiveness level of both romantic partners, which incels see as a solution to the perceived problem of unattractive men have no potential partners. Well, I mean, I'm not going to go all, look, red pill to me, and we'll talk about the definition below. There's two definitions of red pill. There's the truth, like red pill is discovering the truth. That's one definition. But the other definition is the intersexual dynamics part, which is where incels kind of are more related to. And in that level, I think most people know about hypergamy. Most people have heard about hypergamy. Look, I'm not going to give a fucking symposium on hypergamy, but it's an established fact that hypergamy is the fact that women look to optimize their mating choices by looking for a perceived better partner, which their categories do not just include looks, include status, money, social standing, perceived safety, all of these things. So looks matching completely misunderstands the basic concept of hypergamy and how that works. Looks maxing is a process of self-improvement with the intent to become more attractive. Yeah, and everybody can do that. I don't think you have to looks max. See, this is the thing. The incel movement makes it sound so fucking extreme. But here's the thing. if you improve yourself 10%, you probably are making a major improvement compared to everybody else who's not trying at all. So even at 10%, let's say you drop 10% of your weight, that's actually probably a lot because you're probably separating yourself from the average and becoming way above average. Early Life Check says, how do you do, my fellow base Chad LARPers? Care to Timothy McVeigh, federal building? Glowy boys. Yeah, watch out. They will set you up. The glowies will set you up. Be very fucking careful. You saw what they did in Michigan. Shout out to my girl Radix, who's been covering that and been on that. They set those people up in Michigan with the governor kidnapping. They are absolutely behind a lot of the modern shenanigans. Durna 1804 said, Elliot Rodger was a good-looking kid with money and a car. The reason he couldn't get action was that his parents ignored him, so he was socially retarded. That's it. Socialize, talk to people, have friends, hang out. Hang out. I think one of the problems about Corona is that everybody's going to be socially retarded. We're wearing masks. These children can't even read faces. Like, facial expressions matter. And when they're not able to tell that someone's pissed with them or whether a woman is happy with them, of course they're going to be fucking spurgs. Of course they're not going to know how to read social situations. That's part of the art. They're going to have to do this. Do you consent to me touching your arm, milady? Do you consent to me touching your upper shoulder? How about your lower thigh? How about your midsection? How about your navel orifice? Can I caress that lightly? They're going to have to do that because they're going to have no other option. Anything else is going to be really uncalibrated. All right, let's continue here. MGTOW, here we go. MGTOW, the definition of the century, the thing that a lot of people have trouble defining. So MGTOW, acronym for Men Going Their Own Way, which refers to an online community with overlap with the incel community. Okay, I will actually say this may be semi-accurate. So if you're an incel, you could say you're MGTOW, but here's the thing. MGTOW has been defined as a lot of things. In fact, some people say MGTOWs can have girlfriends. Some people can say you can be MGTOW and even get married. You just have to make the girl not your priority, make yourself your priority in your own mission. And if she wants to come along, come along. Some people say that's MGTOW. Some people say MGTOW is being a monk and never coming. Some people say MGTOW is being an incel. A lot of people will define it differently. But regardless, I think one thing that trying to make MGTOW into a positive thing, if you're focusing on yourself, you're focused on improvement, which is why I would say, look, if you're MGTOW, you're focused on improving yourself, improving your life, improving your finances. You can't be an incel and improve. Incels kind of give up. They quit. They say, I'm done. I don't think you can be an incel and MGTOW at the same time. I know there's overlap, but don't know. Early Life just says repeal the 19th. Would not work in the modern day. Would never get the votes for it. I think I've said this before. I think my solution is the government benefits solution. If you take even a dime more than you contribute in taxes, in revenue, you contribute even more. Like, unless you have served in some way, like you've gone in maybe the military or volunteered, done something severe. Unless you have given more than you benefited, you are not entitled to vote. You are, yes, a second-class citizen who is unentitled to vote. By the way, universal suffrage is not an American thing. It was never intended to be an American thing. Everyone was not intended to vote. People with skin in the game were intended to vote. Dungus Fun says, if you have 10 push-ups, you're above average in the US. If you can do 10 push-ups, yes, that's absolutely true, which is why I say just be a little bit better. You don't got to be a fucking based Chad. If you're like slightly red pill and you're semi-quasi fit, you're going to be slaying it. Like 80s guy, like generic 80s guy is a fucking Chad now. Generic 80s guy. You can even have a belly. Now, not a beer belly, but like a slight, like a dad bod, like a real dad bod. Not a gunt. You're not going full Chunkata. You're not Ethan Ralph. You're not out here looking like a fucking orb. But if you're just like regular, what I would say 80s dad bod, you're Chad in America. You're literally Chad. It's not hard. It really is not hard. I'm a military retiree. Yes, you get to vote. Yeah, I think that's fair. Look, if you've contributed, I think it's fair that you should be able to vote. But you have to have contributed. Putting up 220 on the bench. Nice, bro. Appreciate that. I like seeing that. Nick is a shoulder cell. Yes, Nick is a shoulder cell. He's a shoulder guy. Hunch, I agree with you on that, but these people have taken more than they've given. I would say that rule applies for them. They've taken more than they've given. You can't continue to profit other than what you're owed, right? So, for example, if the government promised you free college, you're allowed to take that because that was part of your employment deal, right? That's part of your deal. But if you're taking beyond that, no. Yeah, 1% improvement is the difference between gold and silver. Yeah, very true. Very true. Jordan B. Peterson crying is definitely not helping. By the way, guys, watch out because Jordan B. Peterson is now being co-opted by his wife. And I'm going to say this. Whenever you see a man and his brand being taken over by his significant other, particularly his wife, the woman in his life, that brand is going to be diluted. Robert Kiyosaki brand got entirely taken over by his wife. He can't even control anything in his own business anymore. JBP is on that trend. So watch folks with that. And look, it's not that their wives are necessarily evil. They just changed the brand. Yeah, he was already controlled by his daughter, but now it's his wife too. So it's like daughter plus wife tag team. All right, let's get down here. NEET, not in education, employment, and training, which signifies that a person is truly hopeless, not exclusively used for incels. So if you want to talk about NEETs, talk to my good friend Meme Copium over there in Japan. Now, actually, I'm going to say this, and Josh, I know you're in the chat, so tell me if you agree or disagree with this, but I think that the amount of NEETs in hikikomori, which is another term for people who are at home, the shut-ins in Japan, you see them in anime, I think that number is way overblown. I think people think that everybody in Japan is like that, where everybody in Japan is a shut-in. That's not true. It's just, I don't think it's the majority of people. I think it's a very small minority. Now, it's dangerous to have that even be 2% of your population. Even 1% is dangerous. But I don't think it's a 50% situation. I don't see that. Those over in the Japan can agree or disagree. But I don't think NEET is a thing. Now, in terms of people who give up, I think there's a lot of people who give up, but you got to get your shit together and you got to keep going. Particularly as a man, we have a burden of performance, and whether you like it or not, you got to get your fucking shit together. And you got to accomplish. You got to push. That's just the facts. No one's going to come to help you. No one's going to save you. When you're in trouble, you got to save your damn self. Normie, blue pill. Term used to describe normal people. Not used exclusively by incels. That's true. That's factual. That is very true. So that part I agree with. Red pill, black pill. Red pill refers to the belief shared by many online communities that society is corrupt and that the believer is a victim of this corruption. I don't agree with that at all. Let me continue this. Black pill, which is specific to incels, once again, disagree. Black pill is not specific to incels at all. Refers to a belief that this corruption can only be changed through mass societal restructuring, often including violence. Totally wrong. Guys, this is 100% propaganda to make red pill mean violence. Red pill, and first of all, they're putting red pill and black pill together intentionally to say that they mean the same thing. They want to get that term to mean violence. And there's a reason why they put violent, they punctuate this with violence. They want red pill to mean violence. Guys, okay, I know, like I said, red pill can mean social sexual dynamics, so the male and female relationship, or just the truth. Because some people say, okay, it's the truth that men and women are different, and that our sexual interests are different, and we evaluate things differently in the sexual marketplace. I think we all know that now. And thanks to like the million YouTube channels, right? Like it or hate it, the big YouTube channels, the Manosphere channels, Tate, whether you hate them or like them or whatever you feel about them, they've gotten the concepts, the red pill intersexual dynamics concepts. Everybody knows those now if you're on the internet. We get it, which is good, by the way, because now we can have a conversation. And the thing is, I think the funny thing is, I think most people accept those paradigms now because they're based in fact. It's like if I say that men like attractiveness, number one, and number two is, okay, are they personality? Are they nice? Are they sweet? Are they compatible? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is number two. But attractiveness, one, this two. Women, okay, it's a list. Some things may be more important than others. Maybe money is more important for one woman. Maybe social status. Maybe religion is super important. Then you got looks. Then you got money. Then you got other things, right? Safety, it might be another one. But we're different. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. It's not hateful at all. It's just a fact. It's like men and women are different. Okay, I think everybody on the internet has agreed. If you're talking and having these conversations, you agree. Yeah, men and women are different. Okay, we got it. We're all on the same page there. Even normies are out there agreeing with that. Even normies are out there. Getting that. But that being said, it doesn't require society to be corrupt. That's just a fact. And learning facts and going out there and seeking the truth, the fact that that is considered red pill, which also is considered extremism, is insane. Press tilde for 100 Polish zloty. I gotta buy a lot of Zubrovka next time I'm back in Biedronka over there in Poland. I love Poland. I love my Polish ladies. I've had a great time in Poland. One of the countries I really love. But he says, just LDAR, no Stacy's for you. I'm sorry. I'm taking all the Asian Stacy's. What's the Asian version of Stacy? Is that like the Asian reporter Trisha Takanawa? I don't know. I got to come up with that. The Asian version of Stacy. All the yeah, I don't know. But anyways, cheers. Oh, also, Meme Copium says there's about 1,500,000 NEETs in Japan. According to recent studies, that's about 1% of the population. So it's a significant number. It's not small. That's significant statistically, right? But is it the majority? No, it's a minority. I think we probably have 1% of extreme tranny activists in the United States, but they occupy 99% of the airwaves. Dung is fun says duct tape is silver and silence is gold. I love it. I made Doom Suppository. Did it make the list? No, it did not. It absolutely did not. Lynn. Oh, that'd be a good one. Lynn for Asian Stacey. Sakura? Kaori Mei Ling? Maybe. Ling Ling. Oh, I like Ling Ling. Ling Ling wins. Ling Ling wins. Yes. Ling Ling totally wins. Okay, I'm smashing the Stacy's and the Ling Lings. Yes. Thank you guys. Also, I'm gonna show the last part here, and I don't want my face to cover it, so I'm just gonna put it here. So the last one is rope, which is to self yeet, and the last one is Stacy, which is an idealized version of a female who is successful at gaining sexual and romantic attention from men, chooses Chad over the incels. Okay, here's the thing, and I think somebody mentioned this earlier, but why do incels deserve the Stacys? Why do they deserve them? What have they done to work up for that? They're saying, we're not going to try. We're not going to put in effort. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to roll over and we want to be handed a Stacy. We want to be handed a 10 out of 10 woman. Why? Since when do you deserve that? In what world did you grow up that you felt like you were deserving of that? Shout out to my other channel here, Goey's Gentleman, saying divorce with a land whale ruined me. Now happily married to a slim, attractive Filipina. Took me 4 years, but it was worth it. Awesome. I love to hear that. By the way, guys, check out my new channel, Goey's Gentleman over here. I did not pay for this super chat, but I definitely appreciate it. But I definitely appreciate that. Very true. Check this out. I'm gonna have a lot of good videos on this channel. And also I'm doing another AMA this week or early next week. I just got to get the timing down, but I will do another AMA. I'm doing bi-weekly AMAs, bi-weekly streams on that channel. Rini says, if men and women weren't different, would have died out as a species. Keep smashing, guys. Yeah, we have to. That's what keeps the species going. So look, the fact is, and we're laughing about this. We're laughing about this. But the fact of the matter is that the feds are going to try to criminalize regular, normal human behavior. We all laugh at it. We all make the memes. But look at England. Look at other places where it said, oh, yeah, we're going to make day game. We're going to make talking to women in public illegal. Something you'd be like, what? Are you kidding me? These basic things. Look at what we're doing with the bathroom bills, the sports bills, the women in sports bills. Things that we thought 5 years ago or 10 years ago would be a joke are not jokes anymore. They're absolutely real. So I do think that they will absolutely make talking about intersexual dynamics, they will make the word red pill illegal. I think that everyone who's doing content in the manosphere and all that, that's going to become illegal. The manosphere will be outlawed in the future. Red pill will be outlawed. Black pill, you guys will be outlawed too. I see the black pill trolls in the chat. So black pill's greater than red pill. Rah, black pill. I'll take the black pill. You guys are gonna be in trouble too. Same with MGTOW. So the jokers of the world, right? The Better Bachelor Joker, like even the Kevin Samuels of the world. If RIP Kevin Samuels, but he would be banned in the future. They're gonna ban all this sort of stuff. It's only a matter of time. It's just a matter of who gets in power, who pushes it. And by the way, mind you, that right now you see a weird team up. You see the leftists teaming up with the tradcons because the tradcons don't like this stuff either. They don't like it at all. The Ben Shapiros, the Matt Walshes, they don't like this either. They don't like this talk either. They will team up. The tradcons will do it because they think they're going to bring back traditional conservatism that never really existed in America in the first place, by the way. They think they're going to bring back some mythical state of whatever, which their version doesn't exist. But that being said, they'll team up and they'll bring it. They'll criminalize it. Because they want you back on the farm. That's exactly right. They want you back on the farm. So that being said, the best you can do is keep working on yourself, keep living out your mission, and keep living out your life in the freest and happiest way possible. and fight back against this sort of crazy shit wherever you can fight back, and call it out. Call it out whenever you see it. Let me get some of these locals chats. So, okay, got a couple over here. Let me read this. Britt Cormier sent a $3 one on locals, which says, flag this, F you, suck it, eat me. Well, YouTube would not let me post this. They need to do all these things. Yeah, they do need to. Fuck YouTube. Britt said another $5, says, incel comes from involuntary celibate. How is it possible to be an incel if you're hiring hookers? Are you hiring hookers that you do not want to fuck that is losing on a different level? Yes. By the way, if you are hiring hookers, hire a good hooker. Like hire a 10. Don't hire the 5. Just spring for the 10. It's worth it. And actually, I will do 3 beers. Locals after party today. I want to check out some locals features. So we'll do a locals after party after the show. So if everyone wants to head over there afterwards, I will do a live stream on locals. Is the word feminazi on the list? Says C3 Metal for $1. No, it is not. Music and Fiction sent $2. Neat. The FBI took a Japanese term and added it. I know very few that actually use the term neat precisely because it's Japanese or anime otaku. Yes, Americans do not use neat. The only people who use neat are fucking weebs. And by the way, I say this watching anime myself, but fucking weebs are the only ones who use the term neat unironically. There's a red light district in Amsterdam. It's totally legal. So same in Nevada. And yes, Hillsburg, the toothless hillbilly crack hoe is not what you go with unless you're into that. If that's your thing, then go to town, right? I'm not going to judge you. Turf was not on that list. Turf was not on that list at all. So that's incel list. Now they're going to come up with more. Trust me, this is the first of many. We're laughing now. We're going to see more of these lists. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop at all. Reverend Ralph for $10 on Rumble. Appreciate you. Says we need case law to go against these false intersectional dynamics. Best offense is a defense, maybe. So I actually talked about this. Thank you, Reverend Ralph. Appreciate you guys and appreciate you guys over here on Rumble. Shout out to all the base chads over here on Rumble. Appreciate y'all for your support of the channel. So here's the thing. Right now, we are losing the battle in the courts on the sexual identity, the gender identity, and sexual orientation. That's being lost. And I actually posted this in an article on my locals, which I want to be doing more of. They added an article feature. I am going to be posting more articles on locals routinely. That being said, I am not confident that the corporatist cucks, Kavanaugh, Roberts, and Barrett, I'm not convinced that they are going to be able to stand up and do what they need to do in terms of the issues for sexual orientation and for gender identity. I think they're going to bend the knee eventually. I do not think they're as principled as they, as some might think, or as conservative as some might think. I think Title IX, you've already seen them taking L's. You've already seen a lot of L's under Title IX. All right. So that being said, I'm going to do a stream on locals so you guys can go over and check that out. Also, thank you, everybody. I am trying to get to 100 backers on my anime, my manga, Adjudicator's Academy. I have the 3rd chapter almost done. We are definitely going to ship on time. We're going to be ready to go by the end of May. And I'm really excited about it. Check it out. Based waifus. Great new cover art. I'm actually throwing in alternative cover art. So this is going to go out to pretty much everybody, just some alternative art that other authors did. So I gave an example here in updates. This is an example of the top 3 characters. It's actually a really good job. So if you guys want to check that out, check out Adjudicator's Academy, my manga project. All the Law 2 people, manga form, female form. It's going to be hilarious. I'm already at the point where you've got pretty much the Rackets character, Joe, and perhaps the self-insert introduced already, as well as the direct character. So it's great. It's going to be great. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be perfect. Deha says, is it right to call this neocon McCarthyism on steroids? Yes. Yes, for sure. I think that's very accurate. Very accurate. You just got the Nozomi joke? Nozomi hotter. You didn't get that? It's a play. It's a play. But yes, of course. I'm like, how do you do it? Oh, I would never do that. No way. Of course. Everybody who's been involved up to this point is getting an appearance. Everybody. In fully parody form, intended as parody for satire and totally transformative use. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. You guys are going to die laughing. I'm just saying. So check that out. More and more people are doing it. We're going to hit 100 very soon. So get on that bandwagon. It's open for now. And if you get in now, you will still have access to all the perks, all the stretch goals, everything else that we had. All right. So that being said, guys, and I'll post this once in the chat here. But that being said, guys, head over to Locals and we'll have a stream there. Manic says, by the way, 20 minutes behind. But as far as incels claiming MGTOW, they're using it as an ineffective coping strategy. Easy to tell a guy who went versus a guy who sent. Very true. Very true. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right, guys, take care. Catch you later. Peace.